Hey guys, welcome back to Volition Recording Studios. I hope you guys are all doing well. Today I'll be going over a series of videos, in fact. Pretty much what it is just I'm going to be from this point on and through the later dates, I guess. There will be a lot of small, quick, short videos that I'll be making to help you guys improve your mixing game. I call it hot fixes because it's just very tiny things you can do right away for your mixes. If you do these things, it will improve your mixes over time, and you'll eventually be able to notice a difference when you do these things more and more often as you go forward with your future mixes. So this is something very simple and straightforward that you can do right away on your mixes. Doesn't matter how far you are in the mixing process. And what I'm talking about is filtering. So filtering can be found on EQ, of course, and what that does is it just acts as a wall, so you can determine how much you want the sound to come through. And there's a lot of technical terms we can classify this as. I'm pretty sure maybe some of you guys know of some terms like LPF or HPF, abbreviated versions of low pass filter and high pass filters. So pretty much I'm not going to really get into too much details on the terms, but pretty much what filtering does is, depending on which side of the spectrum that you want to filter out, it will block off a certain amount of frequency coming in for that sound, that track, or if you're trying to EQ to mix the whole thing. So it doesn't matter really what it is. Generally, for filtering, you'll mostly do that more so on individual tracks than the whole mix itself, because if you filter the whole mix, you affect other sounds in the mix, if that makes any sense. So you just want to control and refine the individual tracks elements. I'm going to pull up this screen here and just pop that up. As you guys can see, we have a bunch of tracks here, and a shout out to my friend Andre Miranda. If you guys don't know who he is, I'm gonna have a link down in the description below, so go check out his works. He actually wrote this track for me, and it was just an amazing track, and it's kind of fun to be able to use this to kind of showcase how to do some filtering. So I'm just gonna solo the bass. Here we go. Alright, so that's what the bass sounds like by itself with no EQing or filtering. So now I'm going to just try filtering that out to let you guys hear the difference it makes. Generally, filtering there's two types. There's one that's kind of in the right and left directions. So those are generally the types of filtering you can do, and generally at the very ends of the EQ. So this is like the lower frequency area. So this one will be for this one, and then this one that's pointing towards the right will be for the higher frequencies. So we're going to do LPF so here we go. So you can control the steepness. So as you guys can tell, if I do this, the slope looks more slack, but if I kind of dial it up, it looks more rigid, more straight. The best way to describe it is how restrictive do you want that filtering to be. If you want it to be very, very hard and no frequencies passing, then you want to touch up your dial to the slope of 20. So that completely knocks off anything that's under 190 hertz. And then if you want to allow just a little bit of some frequencies, like a little bit kind of in the mid zone, I guess, you can go around 12, which I generally go for. You don't want to, I find that not all the time. Very few cases will you need to hard filter. You still kind of want some of that sound to come back into the track. All right, so I'm just going to play the audio and let you guys hear. All right, so that's just an example of filtering, and you can hear how it sounds more narrower as I filter higher up. My ebook that I have, that I would highly recommend you to go get it, and it is for free. Check out that book. It will teach you kind of all the basics of mixing, and especially if you're into mixing. So, and now I'll show you a before and after. What I noticed for this track when I actually applied a little bit of that EQ on the filters are on the bass. It actually freed up. I could hear a little bit more of the kick drum's weight, more of that the thump compared to before. So the EQing actually did clean that up and made those sounds more pronunciated, or pops out more. So I highly recommend those of you that never done filtering before to start doing filtering. It makes a huge difference to clear out some space for your mix, especially when it comes to frequencies. You only have such a limited amount of space to let the frequencies run around. So in that case, being heard. It really depends on how the recording is and how it sounds, but most of the time, if you kind of filter one over to the other, it'll free up more space for that, so it can roam. You can roam more freely, and you can hear it more better. So I hope this was very useful. This is the first video of my hot fixes. There will be more of these down the road. So if you guys have any more questions or concerns, leave a comment, message me, and I highly recommend you to head over to my link down there, where you can actually subscribe to get a free copy of the 5 things I wish I knew about. But that ebook covers a lot of basics regarding mixing, and something that's very important for those of you that are planning to do mixing on your own. Or maybe you're trying to up your game. Maybe you mixed for a while, but you kind of gave up. Well, this book is kind of catered to mostly for the beginner, but it does have a lot of intermediate, advanced, kind of proper mindsets and skills that will help you out improve your mixes. So that's it for today. I will see you guys in the next video.